what do the Essenes, what do they say about religion, organised religion, and the effect that that it has had on the world?
Yes.
Have they got any comments on that?
Well, of course, they have lots of comments, and people ask just about in every talk that I give everywhere, they do ask about how they see religions. And again, they are very, very mindful, they are very wise how they present it. But basically they say that a religion is a man-made, man-created religion. Spirituality is not created by men. Spirituality is the science of our spirit. And of course, if one doesn't believe that there is a spirit, it cannot be that science of spirit. But most people these days in the world do believe that there is something beyond just the brain and the bones and the blood. As for specific religion, they sometimes comment that there are some religions who base more on fear, and there are some religions that base less on fear.
If the Essenes can contact or talk to Jesus,
Yes.
and they were able to ask him,
Yes.
is he happy with the aftermath of his
Yes.
visit here and all the destruction and the anguish? Is he happy that man has taken his message and done such a terrible job with his message?
Well, this question in different way been asked before, so
Yes.
I can answer it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
He can't be happy with what's happened. I couldn't imagine him being happy.
Well, according to them, Jesus is always happy.
Yeah, well, I can imagine that. He's always happy, but he can't be happy with what they've done to his message.
Yes. Well, what they say quite often is that they started the plan. And they said that they haven't actually expected the plan to go in that way.
Oh, okay.
In other words, according to them, Jesus was crucified. He died on the cross. According to them, he was around the age of 32, 33. And according to them, the plan that they had with him hasn't finished. So there is a kind of, what do we call it in life, unfinished business here. The plan started. And sometimes they say, very often they say to someone, in order to succeed in life, in anything, you only need two things: to start and to continue. That's all.
But
so
Jesus,
he started it.
Yeah.
He started it, and we need to continue it.
Now, I know there's a saying that to make an omelette, you've got to break a few eggs.
Yes.
So when Jesus looks at what's happened and he sees people actually burning at the stake for his message, actually the incredible frenzy and the smell of burning flesh and the screams of terror, all in his name.
Yes.
You can't tell me he's happy about that.
No, he's not happy. But one time when I was still talking to them personally, because they don't talk to me these days, I did ask them, what did he do when he saw some resistance towards him? How did he behave? What did he do? And they said, when he realized in certain circumstances the huge resistance, not actually towards him, but towards love, when he realized it, there were three things that he did. The first thing is that he smiled from his heart.
Smiled from
his heart.
Yeah.
The second thing, he had tears in his eyes. Yeah. And the third thing, he turned back, blessed them, and went away.
Wow.
So three things. Yeah. He had that smile in the heart, he had the tears in the eyes, and he had to go. And this is in a way what I believe, not that I can speak on his behalf, but this is what I believe the Essenes will say, how he will feel about what is happening. When there is a huge resistance to love, to the oneness, he will bring the utmost compassion and love with some tears and with blessing.
Yes, this is fascinating, and we could go for another 2 hours.
Forever.
Two main questions I want to ask you is, the first one is, if there's any message that they're giving to you all the time, what is our future? What are we here for?
Yes, yes.
What's it all about?
Yes. Well, they're seen, and I wouldn't be able to go really into details, but they're seen.
I'm being a bit unfair to ask.
That's
you to try,
okay.
you know.
But they're seen talk about what they call 5 dimensions that exist in the universe, and we are in one dimension that we call it the physical dimension. When we complete that dimension, and of course there is a huge lecture that I can talk about what it means, the completion, we will move to another dimension. It's not that our dimension is bad,
Or
but
better
our,
or worse, it's just one of the ones we go. It's a process.
it is a process. It is a process. But our dimension is the dimension that experience most separation. In other words, in our dimension, we experience most fear and most pain. So the purpose of coming to the planet Earth and the purpose of being here is to find a way, gently and slowly, to really, how do they say, to all be brother and sisters, to all really find a way to understand that whenever we don't feel one with a person, it's because, not because it's not in us, but because there is a fear within us that stop us, really block us to actually experience it. But overall, the idea is to come to the planet Earth and to find a way to hug someone and to feel really one with that person. This is really the message.
It's an ongoing journey.
Yes.
It will never end. So, to our viewers I'd love to talk to Yasah, and also to ask you questions. You can contact the Essenes.
Yes.
How do they get to come and see you?
Well, if it's in New Zealand, I'm here only part of the year. I'm not really here many months a year. But
When you are here?
When I'm here, there is a website of yasahlavie.com, and there will be a website from next month, essenecollege.com. There is a phone that they can phone me or my secretary, and somehow I always believe that if people want to find you, they will.
Is there a telephone number they can ring you on?
Yeah, there is a phone of 021 629 169. 021 629 169.
And what you can give for people is that they can ask you a question. You go into the trance and you can make contact with the Essenes, and there's some amazing answers come back, isn't there?
But they will really tell you about really who you are. And what is amazing is that when you leave the session, you actually understand that they actually know you a little bit more than you know yourself. Yeah, it's a fascinating thing.
Fascinating indeed. Yasah, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.